Milie is a B.Sc nursing graduate and attends IELTS coaching classes intended for a job abroad, specifically Canada. She works part-time at a restaurant named Dune's Kitchen, located within a plush mall. She lives with her father Niranjan, who does not agree with her going to Canada. Unknown to Niranjan, Milie has a boyfriend Samir Kumar, who also does not agree with her Canada plans. Samir is in search of a job and has some habits Milie is trying to fix. One night, while Samir is taking Milie home by scooter, they are stopped by police who penalize him for not wearing a helmet while driving and drunk driving, unknown to Milie, and they both are brought to the police station. Niranjan gets called into the station as well, and is extremely upset with seeing his daughter with a boy who has committed a crime. He does not talk to her for days despite her several attempts of creating conversation and apologizing. Milie also ends all contact with Samir, despite his multiple attempts of contacting her. Samir even shows up to her workplace to try and reconcile, but is just shut down by Milie. One night after work, Milie is asked by her co-workers to put some boxes in the storage freezer before she leaves. As she is doing so, she is accidentally locked inside by her manager, Sudhir Melkoti, thinking that no one is inside the restaurant because everyone, including Milie, has clocked out. As the temperature slowly decreases, eventually reaching -18°C, Milie has to survive in the freezing cold and tries every possible solution to keep herself alive. At one point, she tries to block the exhaust fan but ends up dislocating her leg. She even starts to get frostbite. Niranjan starts getting worried that Milie has not reached home. As it is getting late, he searches for Milie. With the help of his neighbor, they resort to calling all her co-workers, but none of them seem to know anything. Samir, who was on his way to Delhi half-heartedly for a job, returns after hearing that Milie is missing, and also joins the investigation, much to Niranjan's dismay. Niranjan and his neighbor continuously suspect that Samir knows something that they do not, despite Samir's multiple attempts to try and connect with Niranjan. The search party, which seems to grow by the hour, make multiple attempts to call the police station and garner help, but are instead met with lazy responses by Sub-Inspector Satish Rawat, who tells them that Milie must have just ran away with Samir and to keep looking on their own. Eventually, the search party gets fed up with the lazy responses they are getting, as is Rawat's partner. They decide go to the police station to file a case for Milie, and are instead greeted by Rawat, which is when they realize he is the same cop who arrested Samir and Milie earlier. He is adamant that Samir and Milie ran off together, and that Samir is lying to everyone about Milie's whereabouts, although he did not believe Samir's innocence at first. Niranjan tries to defend him, causing tension between Rawat and the search party. Rawat's boss, Inspector Ravi Prasad, arrives at the station, scolding Rawat for his behavior and reassuring Niranjan and Samir that they will try their hardest to find Milie. From this point on, Prasad takes over the case. Meanwhile, Milie is desperately trying to save herself, while her phone is sitting in the restaurant, buzzing every few minutes with calls from her father. At some point, Milie finds a mouse and tries to save its life as well as her own. She starts growing extremely weak and covers herself in boxes to try and stay warm. The mouse eventually dies from hypothermia. Rawat, offended and vexed with Prasad and the search party, deliberately tries not to help them. Cybercell, the division that handles technology in cases, informs Rawat that the last tower location he got from Milie's phone was at the mall she works at. Rawat, much to the dismay of his partner, purposely delays informing Prasad about this news. Samir suddenly remembers an incident where some auto drivers that hung out in front of the mall where Milie worked at harassed her one day, causing Samir and his friends to have to beat them up. He tells the search party that it is possible they might have done something to her out of retaliation. The search party arrives at the mall to inquire about the auto drivers, too. which the specific one who her asked Milie denies the allegations, having an alibi. Feeling defeated and lost, the group meets the watchman of the mall, who says he does not think that Milie ever left the mall. The group rushes inside the mall, with everyone searching high and low for Milie. Simultaneously, one of the inmates at the police station purposely causes a scene after overhearing Rawat and his partner arguing over the cybercell message. While Rawat is dealing with the inmate, his partner steals his phone, sending the updated news to Prasad. Just as Niranjan is about to give up, he sees a metal dish drop from a vent in the mall. He grabs the group, and they figure out that the vent leads to the storage freezer in Dune's kitchen. Quickly, they rush to the freezer to find Milie passed out on the floor, in her last stages of hypothermia. She is taken to the hospital for treatment. The next day, Milie reunites with her father and Samir, and is extremely happy to see that the entire situation has brought Samir and Niranjan closer. They have grown to like and accept one another. Niranjan gives his blessings to Milie and Samir, and Milie decides to cancel her Canada plans. Meanwhile, Malkoti is warned by Prasad to install an alarm in the storage freezer, or else his restaurant will be closed. The watchman shows up at the hospital, and Niranjan asks him how he was sure Milie never left the mall. He recalls the fact that he notices her going in and out of the mall every day, because she is the only person who actually smiles at him. He did not see her smile on her way out the day she went missing. When the watchman asks Niranjan what his daughter's name is, he proudly replies with Milie.